for Canada because of continuous interference by its diplomats in India's internal affairs. Election Commission directs to provide proper assistance and transport facility for 80 plus senior citizens and persons with disabilities on polling day of assembly elections. Fourth Asian Para Games commence in Hangzhou, China. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, match underway between New Zealand and India at Dharamsala. Now the news in detail. India has sent humanitarian aid to the strife-torn Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. It reached Egypt this evening. Indian Ambassador Ajit V. Gupte handed over the relief material to the Red Crescent for onward transmission to Palestine via the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and Gaza. The material includes essential life-saving medicines, surgical items, tents, sleeping bags, tarpaulins, sanitary utilities, water purification tablets, among other necessary items. Meanwhile, the 6th flight under Operation Ajay departed from Tel Aviv with Indian nationals today. The Israeli military today bombarded Gaza just hours after the first batch of aid trucks reached the Hamas-controlled territory from Egypt. The Israeli media stated that they have killed terror operatives from Hamas and Islamic Jihad in these airstrikes. Whereas in a statement, Palestine said at least 11 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli strike in the southern Gaza city of Han Yunis. Residents in Palestine said that they received warnings from Israel's military to move from North Gaza to the southern strip, or they would be identified as sympathizers of the terrorist organization. The Israeli missiles also hit Damascus and Aleppo international airports in neighboring Syria, where Hamas's main regional backer, Iran, has a military presence, killing at least 2 workers. Israel has also said its aircraft bombed Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon yesterday. Hezbollah said 6 of its fighters were killed in these strikes. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar has said India invoked the provision of parity in Canada's diplomatic presence in the country in view of concerns over their interference in New Delhi's affairs. He said that India is likely to resume issuance of visas to Canadians if it sees progress in the safety of Indian diplomats in Canada.
Parity is very much provided for by the Vienna Convention, which is the relevant international rule on this. But in our case, we invoked parity because we had concerns about continuous interference in our affairs by Canadian personnel. We haven't made much of that public. My sense is over a period of time, more stuff will come out and people will understand why we had the kind of discomfort.
Dr. Jaishankar added that the relationship between India and Canada right now is going through a difficult phase, adding that India has problems with certain segment of Canadian politics. Addressing the quarterly economic conclave in New Delhi today, the External Affairs Minister said, "Today the unipolar world is a distant history and a lot of the analysis needs to overcome the burden of past constructs." He added that international financial institutions have not been able to respond adequately to concerns emanating from rising debt and market volatility. Dr. Jaishankar said the bipolar world was even more distant in the bipolarity of the US-Soviet Union, and he doesn't think that the US and China will really end up bipolar. Speaking on terrorism, the minister said any expectation that conflicts and terrorism can be contained in their impact is no longer tenable.
Terrorism, which has long been honed and practiced as a tool of statecraft, the basic takeaway for all of us is that given the seamlessness of our existence, any expectation that conflicts and terrorism can be contained in their impact is no longer tenable.
In Arunachal Pradesh, one cadre from the NSCN-KYA militant organisation surrendered in front of security forces today in Tirap district. Self-styled Leftenant Wang Hong Nokpa from the militant organisation surrendered before the police and 6th AR team with a 9mm pistol and 3 rounds ammunition. Upon interrogation, the 45-year-old man revealed that he was taken forcibly by the militant group in 1999, along with 18 other young boys. He said he was misguided to join the group and appealed to the youth to stay away from such anti-national elements. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The Election Commission of India, ECI, has directed to provide proper transport facility for 80-plus senior citizens and persons with disabilities (PWD) electors during the upcoming assembly elections in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Rajasthan and Telangana. Out of total electors in 5 states, around 1.5% are above 80 years of age, while PWD electors are over 1%. The Election Commission has directed that such electors be assisted by volunteers appointed by district election officers. The ECI has also directed to give priority to PWD and senior citizens for entering the polling booths. All polling stations will be set up with ramps and proper gradient to provide them convenience. The PWD electors can also request for wheelchair facility by registering on the Saksham ECI app. The application is available on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store. Tomorrow is the last date for the withdrawal of candidatures for single-phase assembly elections in Mizoram and for the first phase in Chhattisgarh. The scrutiny of nominations for these constituencies was done today. In Mizoram, all 40 constituencies, and in Chhattisgarh, 20 out of total 90 constituencies will go to polls on the 7th of next month. In Mizoram, the scrutiny for Longtlai East constituency, which was adjourned yesterday, was completed today. All 174 nominations have gone through the scrutiny stage. The Indian National Congress (INC), the Mizo National Front (MNF), and the Zoram People's Movement (ZPM) have fielded candidates in all 40 assembly seats, while the BJP is fielding candidates in 23 assembly constituencies. For the first time, the Aam Aadmi Party is contesting the Mizoram polls by fielding candidates in 4 assembly constituencies. A total of 27 candidates have filed their nomination as independent. For the ensuing assembly polls, a total of 16 women candidates have filed their nomination. Mizoram will go for assembly polls in a single phase on November the 7th to elect 40 members of the Mizoram Legislative Assembly. Counting of votes will take place on December the 3rd. Meanwhile, for the second phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and single-phase polling in Madhya Pradesh, filing of nominations began yesterday and will continue till the 30th of October. Polling in 230 constituencies in Madhya Pradesh and 70 seats in Chhattisgarh will take place on the 17th of November. In Madhya Pradesh, 17 candidates have submitted 20 nominations today. The BJP today released the first list of 52 names, including 12 women contesting the Telangana Assembly elections. Former State Minister from the ruling BRS, E. Rajender, who joined the BJP, will be contesting from 2 places. Besides his own constituency, Huzurabad, the BJP has fielded him in Gajwel too, where Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao will be contesting. The Chief Minister will also contest from Kamareddy. 3 MPs, B. Sanjay Kumar, Soyam Bapu Rao and Arvind Dharmapuri are contesting the assembly elections this time. Senior BJP Mahila Morcha leader D.K. Aruna, MLA Raghunandan Rao, former MLAs Ramachandra Reddy and B. Shobha are among those who found a place in the first list. The Congress today released another list of 43 candidates for Rajasthan Assembly polls. Presently, Minister in the Rajasthan government, Pratap Singh Kacharia, has been fielded from Civil Lines Assembly constituency. Former Minister Dr. Raghu Sharma will contest from Kekri seat on Ajmer district. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today flagged off 51 ordinary BS6 buses in Ayodhya during the launch of Mission Mahila Sarthi. He congratulated the UP Transport Department for achieving the milestone. The buses will have women drivers and conductors. While inaugurating the mission, the Chief Minister said women's safety and their respect has been a big challenge. This is why the Indian culture has always pushed the idea that where women are respected, that society will be strong, self-sufficient and reach new heights of development. The Department of Pension and Pensioners' Welfare will be holding the Anubha Awards 2023 ceremony in Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi tomorrow to felicitate the awardees for their write-ups for the year 2023. Union Minister for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Dr. Jitendra Singh, will confer the awards. The portal provides an online system for the retiring or retired employees to submit and showcase their commendable work done, to share their experiences of working in the government and to give suggestions for improvement in governance. The extremely severe cyclonic storm Tej over west central and the adjoining southwestern Arabian Sea has moved northwestwards with a speed of 16 km per hour in 6 hours. It lay centred over the same region about 90 kilometres east-northeast of Scutari of Yemen and 460 kilometres south-southeast of Salalah of Oman. The IMD said it is very likely to move north-westwards and cross the Yemen coast close to Al-Qaeda around early hours of Tuesday as a very severe cyclonic storm. Fishermen have been advised not to venture into the southwest and west central Arabian Sea till Tuesday. Those out at the sea have been advised to return to the coast. Meanwhile, in east, the depression over the west central Bay of Bengal moved nearly northwards and lay centred over the same region about 520 kilometres south-southeast of Paradip in Odisha. It is likely to move nearly northwards and intensify into a deep depression during next 6 hours. Sea condition will be rough and fishermen are advised not to venture into the west central Bay of Bengal till Tuesday. The air quality in national capital Delhi has deteriorated to very poor category. At 7 p.m. this evening, the air quality index was recorded at 310. The centre's air quality panel yesterday had directed authorities in the national capital region to increase parking fees to discourage private transport and enhance the services of CNG or electric buses and metro trains. The action comes as part of Stage 2 of the central government's pollution control plan, known as the Graded Response Action Plan, which is implemented in the Delhi NCR to combat air pollution during the winter season. Maha Ashtami is being celebrated across the country with religious fervour. On this occasion, Kanya Pujan was held by households. In West Bengal, Durga Puja rituals began with Maha Ashtami Pushpanjali this morning. According to the custom, Kumari Puja was held at Belur Mutt. Many people went to the mutt to seek Kumari Puja. In Tripura, this is the biggest annual festival of the Bengali Hindus and is also celebrated and organised in rural areas in a unique mosaic of cultural synthesis. It is unique as tribal communities and other communities also take part overwhelmingly in puja celebration in a traditional manner. Muslim people are actively participating in organising community puja at Durgapur in Sonamura. 3.5 peats of Adi Shakti are considered to be in Maharashtra, out of which 2 Poon peats are in Marathwada. The first one is located in Mahur in Nanded district and the second is Tuljapur in Dharashiv district. Our correspondent reports that Navratri is being celebrated with religious fervour at these places.
Mahur is a special place known as the city of Mother. Goddess Renuka, who is considered the mother of Lord Parshuram, resides here. There is a temple built on a mountain area where people offer bitter leaves to the goddess. The idol of goddess Renuka is present in the form of her face. In Tuljapur, there is a temple called Tulja Bhavani, which is the family deity of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. During Navratri, the goddess is worshipped in different forms, sometimes riding a chariot, playing the flute, and offering a sword to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
The 4th Asian Paragames officially commenced in Hangzhou, China today. It will go on till October the 28th. The Indian contingent at the Asian Paragames comprises of 303 sportspersons across 17 sporting disciplines. In the ICC Cricket World Cup, New Zealand have set a target of 274 for India at Dharamsala. For India, Mohammad Shami took 5 wickets for 54 runs. In reply, India were 192 for 5 in 35 overs when reports last came in. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India's humanitarian aid for Palestine reaches Egypt, handed over to Red Crescent. 6th flight under Operation Ajay to evacuate Indian nationals from Israel takes off from Tel Aviv. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says India invoked diplomatic parity for Canada because of continuous interference by its diplomats in India's external affairs. 4th Asian Paragames commence in Hangzhou, China. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, match underway between New Zealand and India at Dharamsala. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.